Alrighty, Mr. Stark here. We're going to do some 6th grade math today. We're going to add decimals, and which is the same as adding and subtracting decimals. Alright, follows the same rules. So, you all know how to add and subtract regular numbers. We just have one little difference with decimals. So the key thing that you have to know before you can add and subtract decimals is you have to line up the decimal. Has to be lined up. If it's not lined up, can't do it. Has to be lined up. Okay? Line the decimals, which we have here, and we just add down like normal. 5 plus 6 is 11. 1 down, 1 up top. Now the decimal here, you just bring it down. Has to be lined up. Lined up always. 5 plus 1 is 6. 6 plus 1 is 7. And then 4 plus 3 is 7. So this answer is 77.1, or 77 and 1/10. 1/10. Okay? So adding and subtracting, the decimals have to be lined up. Can't do it otherwise it's going to be wrong. Alright. Bam. That one's done. On to multiplication. Now multiplication, you don't have to line up the decimals. You just multiply them like they're regular multiplication problems. Alright? Don't have to line them up. So now we're going to deal with the decimals at the end though, because it's a little bit tougher and then most students forget this. We're going to do it at the end. So let's just multiply. 6 times 5, 30. 6 times 4, 24 plus the 3 is 27. Bring the 2 up. 6 times 2 is 12 plus the 2, 14. Now the answer is not 1,470. Now is where the decimals come into play. We have to see how many decimal places there are to the right of the decimal. This is one decimal place in our decimal, and this is one, which is a total of 1 plus 1, 2. 2 places to the right of the decimal. Therefore, when you have your decimal place here, you now have to move it back 2 to the left, because we moved it 2 places back. 1, 2, 14.7, or 14 7/10. And that's how you do the multiplication. You move the decimals at the end, but you have to count how many places to the right there are. This was 1, 2. So we move it back to the left 2, which is 14 7/10, 14.7. And that's multiplication. Don't have to line them up. Comes into play at the end. That is addition and subtraction of decimals. We have to line them up, the decimals. Multiplication you don't. You have to move it at the end. That is how you do that.